If you haven't watched the first part yet, I'll leave it for you in the description or the first comment. Let's continue with 20 key concepts from The Psychology of Money. Concept 9. Wealth and greed don't mix. One of the biggest problems among the rich is that they don't know when to stop. They risk what they already have in pursuit of more, even when they already have more than enough. This has led to the downfall of many wealthy people. Housel tells the story of a billionaire who lost everything because he used leverage to turn billions into tens of billions and failed. The question you need to ask yourself is, how much is enough? What number would make you feel safe and satisfied? Without a clear answer, you'll always chase more and risk everything you already have. That doesn't mean you shouldn't be ambitious. It means you must separate healthy ambition from destructive greed. You can aim higher, but never risk what you already have. As Warren Buffett says, to get rich, you don't need to take big risks. You just need not to be stupid. Concept 10. The margin of error. This might be the most important idea in the entire book. The margin of error means planning for the worst and hoping for the best. It means assuming things won't go perfectly and building flexibility into your plans. Most people fail financially not because their plans are bad, but because they left no room for mistakes. If you run a business or have a job, ask yourself, what if I face a major health crisis? What if I lose my job for 2 years? A plan without a margin of error is fragile. Even a small deviation can destroy it. Building a margin of error means practical things. Don't borrow to your full limit. Keep more cash than you think you need. Plan your retirement expecting lower than average returns. This might sound pessimistic, but it's actually realistic and wise. Life rarely goes exactly as planned. The margin of error is what keeps you in the game when surprises happen. Concept 11. You will change over time. One of the biggest financial mistakes people make is assuming that what they want today is what they'll still want in the future. Many people buy big houses or accept stressful jobs because of who they are today, but 10 years later, they realize they've changed. Their priorities have shifted, yet they're trapped in commitments that no longer fit who they've become. Housel explains that humans are terrible at predicting how they'll change. We look back and see how much we've evolved, yet we believe we're now at our final version. That's an illusion. You will change. Your values, priorities, and definition of happiness will change too. So build flexibility into your financial life to adapt as you evolve. Concept 12. Nothing is free. Everything has a cost, but not all costs are visible. The price of owning successful stocks is anxiety, doubt, fear, and watching your portfolio drop 30% or more at times. That's not a penalty. It's the admission fee. If you're not willing to pay it, you won't get the rewards. The problem is most people want the returns without the volatility. They want long-term growth but can't tolerate short-term pain. When volatility hits, they panic and sell. If you understand and accept this cost, you'll stay invested long enough to win. The same is true in life. The price of a fit body is years of discipline and training. The price of a strong relationship is compromise, patience, and communication. Nothing valuable in life is ever free. Concept 13. You and I are different. Housel explains that financial decisions that look crazy to one person may be perfectly rational to another. A day trader who buys and sells stocks within hours is playing a different game than a long-term investor holding for decades. The problem arises when you take advice from someone playing a different game. If you're a long-term investor and see traders making quick profits, you might be tempted to copy them. But that's a mistake, because what works for them could destroy you. Their strategy fits a short time horizon and high risk tolerance. Yours doesn't. The lesson is, know what game you are playing and stick to it. Don't compare yourself to others or follow advice from people with different goals and circumstances. Concept 14. The trap of pessimism. Housel notes that pessimism always sounds smarter and more realistic than optimism. When someone says, "The economy will crash soon," they sound wise and cautious. When another says, "The economy will keep growing," they sound naive. But history shows that optimists have been right far more often than pessimists. Why? Because humans are wired to fear threats more than opportunities. Losing something hurts more than gaining something equal feels good. Bad news also happens fast, while good news takes time. Markets crash overnight, but wealth builds over decades. Destruction is dramatic, creation is slow and boring.
Concept 15. The power of stories. We humans love stories more than statistics. One emotional story of someone losing all their money in the market affects us more than a study showing 99% of long-term investors made profits. This means our financial decisions are shaped more by the stories we remember than by the facts we ignore. The problem? The most dramatic stories are rarely the most accurate. No one writes headlines about a person who quietly saved, invested wisely, and retired comfortably. That's boring. But a story about someone making or losing millions overnight, that spreads fast. As a result, our perception of money is distorted by rare extreme events, not by reality. Concept 16. The importance of sleeping well. Housel says, an investment that keeps you up at night isn't a good investment, no matter how high the potential return. Peace of mind is more valuable than a few extra percentage points of profit. If your portfolio makes you check prices 10 times a day and fills you with anxiety, you're taking on too much risk. Many people chase maximum returns without considering the emotional cost. But what's the point of earning 12% a year if you're miserable? Life is short. The goal isn't just to make money, but to live well, even if it means earning a bit less. Know yourself. Be honest about your real risk tolerance, not just theoretically, but emotionally. Concept 18. History is deceptive. We rely on history to predict the future, and that's logical, but dangerous. Housel warns, history doesn't repeat exactly. The world changes. Economies evolve. The conditions that caused one outcome in the past may not exist again. So use history as a guide, not a map. Learn from it, but stay open to the idea that the future could be very different. And again, always include a margin of error in your plans. Concept 19. Luck and risk are twins. Luck and risk are inseparable. We tend to credit our own success to skill and blame our failures on bad luck. But when judging others, we do the opposite. This biases our understanding of success. The truth is, every outcome is a mix of skill, luck, and risk. You can't separate them. That's why humility in success and compassion in failure are essential. Recognize the role of luck in your achievements. It doesn't diminish them. It deepens your gratitude and keeps you grounded. Concept 20. Avoid financial fragility. Many people build lives that look impressive, but are extremely fragile. A big house with a huge mortgage, luxury cars on installment, a lifestyle that consumes every bit of income. Everything works fine until something small goes wrong. A job loss, a health crisis, or an economic downturn, and then it all collapses. Instead, build a life that's resilient. Live far below your means. Keep large savings. Avoid consumer debt. Diversify your income. You may look less rich than others, but you'll be far more secure and peaceful. When crises come, and they always do, you won't just survive, you might thrive. Concept 20. Use money to buy freedom. This final concept ties everything together. Money itself isn't the goal. It's a tool. The ultimate purpose of money is to buy freedom and control over your life. That doesn't always mean early retirement or never working again. It means having the power to choose how you spend your time. For some, that's choosing projects they love. For others, it's spending more time with family or pursuing hobbies. Money can buy all of this, but only if you use it wisely. The irony is most people use money to buy things that steal their freedom. A bigger house means a bigger mortgage. A luxury car means years of monthly payments. Each purchase adds another chain until they end up less free than before. The better path is the opposite. Use every raise, every bonus, every bit of extra income to buy more freedom, not more stuff. Increase your savings rate. Each step in that direction gives you more control over your time and your life. And in the end, that's what true wealth really is.